We are very happy to introduce you this discovery webinar about DIH². So what is DIH²? This is a pan-European network of robotic DIH in agile production. So why we are here today? So I am Géraldine André-Augustin, CEO and founder of Blue-Morpho, and I'm with Ermira Vaudot, Lean and Open Innovation Project Manager at Blue-Morpho. Hello. So Ermira is quite active in DIH² as well, and she also the key contact point for you when it's going to deal with the sponsoring program that I will introduce you. So why DIH²? Actually, it's very interesting to have a look to the robotics industry. As you can see, it's really a growing market. If you look at the number of bays installed, it's really doubling by 2020, meaning that there is a high growth coming from 2008 to 2020, which is very interesting. And if we look at that, it's also driving by the Chinese market. As you might know, there is a strong policy in China, which is made in China 2025. And the goal is to have also the production based from all equipment in China. So they are also investing a lot in robotics, as you can see here. So there is a high demand from robots, and there is a lot of investment done in China, in Asia, also in US. And the European Commissions want also to make sure that Europe will have a strong leadership in the year to come in robotics. So there is a lot of investment done already. This is really part of the European strategy. So if you look for Horizon 2020 program, we have already quite a lot of investment done. So if you consider it was about 2.6 billion euros for any project related to AI, integrated also 700 million euros for robotics. And that also will expand as well, because in Horizon Europe, this is the other framework program of the European Commission, there is a budget dedicated to artificial intelligence and robotics, about 15 billion euros. So you can see there is a high investment from the European Commission on this topic. And it's also very interesting to notice that they are converging artificial intelligence and robotics. So it's, of course, the hardware part, which is important, but also all the intelligence that is needed. And that makes a lot of sense also to address agile productions, as we will explain. So I've seen that we might already have some questions. I'm just going to check. Okay. Okay, it's good. As I said, if you want to ask questions, you can totally interrupt me. We wanted to have a webinar with limited number of participants to have really interaction. So don't need also to speak directly. What about DIH²? DIH², so it's a European Commission project, as you might know, which is funded by the European Commission with 16 million euro investments. And what is also very interesting is that this project is designed on cascade funding, meaning that 8 million euro will be also redistributed to players participating to DIH² and entering into agile production. So, as I said, European Commission supports. So why we wanted to speak with you about DIH² is because it's a very interesting project that will run for 4 years. And we really want to engage as many players as possible. So first, what is DIH²? It's a network of 26 European digital hubs across Europe. So what is the Digital Innovation Hub? That's maybe new to you if you're not part of this kind of action, but it's basically organizations that are bringing technological solutions, but also business development, also access to investors. So it's really entities here to support any European SMEs and startups to get access to technology and to support their growth. And DIH², it's a network of those organizations working all together across Europe. For the moment, we have 26 DIH working together, and we want to expand to 170 DIH for 2022. So as you can see, it's a lot. So we want really to help collaboration here, and we are really welcoming collaboration. So what is the ambition of DIH²? The ambition is to improve the cost effectiveness of advanced robotics solution, so to make it more attractive for any company. The other ambitions is to drive the growth of the European manufacturing robotics market. So we really want to attract more players to adopt robotic solutions for their manufacturing processes. And of course, to maximize productivity and to optimize agility in all the European SMEs. It's very interesting in Europe because we have a lot of SMEs. And through DIH², we are addressing more than 300,000 manufacturing SMEs. So all of them are very welcome, and we want to collaborate with them so they can assess robotic solution and enter into collaboration in this field. So later on, they could really be big player for agile production and take the benefits of agile production. So who we are a group of 34 different partners with a coordinator, which is VTT, bringing also a lot of expertise in robotics. And we are working all together really to reach the objective that I just defined previously. So why this webinar? It's because we wanted to explain you what DIH² can do for you. We have a lot of things we can do for you. First of all, we can provide you with financial and technical support if you want to automate and optimize your production processes. So that's more dedicated to manufacturing companies. We want also to provide, if you are whether provider of solutions that are robotics related, we can provide you with access to potential customers, so you can have access to players that to you can offer agile and robotic solution. And what we want also to offer to you is to join a pan-European community of industrial players working all together to shape the European future of robotics. Because here we are really also in the community building, and we have the great chance to collaborate with the European Commission, and we are also taking all your feedback, and we want to involve you as well in the definition of what this European robotics industry should look like in the years to come. So that's why we're also inviting you to collaborate with us. So as you can see, DIH² is very dedicated to a lot of different players. So technology supplier and manufacturing companies, to who we're offering acceleration to agile production, and we have specific actions on that direction. We're also working with solution provider, and the goal here is to market your offer, so you will get access to new customers in the very attractive conditions, as I will show you. And to all players, we would like to invite you to join our industrial alliance. So first, I wanted to speak about the solution provider and this offer to market your own product services to manufacturing companies. What we are doing through DIH² is to offer you high visibility across Europe. As I said before, through DIH², we have access to more than 300,000 SME across 26 different European countries, and that will be expanded during the different years of the program. And what we want to do is to showcase your products and services. How? It's quite simple. You have access to a lot of different actions for that. We have digital events covering about 60 to 400 participants. We have also events where we are welcoming about 100 participants. And we have also large conferences with more than 1,000 participants. So depending on your wish, depending on the specific action you want to undertake, we have different solutions to increase your visibility. But it's not only visibility we are speaking about. It's really to engage new customers for you. So they see your solution, and through DIH² they can assess how they can test your solution, because it's addressed a specific interest and specific need they have. So through DIH², if they are selected, if they have of course to apply and to explain their project in agile production, but if they are selected, they will receive financial support through this cascade funding that I mentioned just previously. And they can receive up to 232,000 euros for trials and to adapt later on your product and services. So as I said, it's really a good way for you to engage with new customers in the very attractive condition for them and also for you, because you have kind of ideal collaboration. They can give their feedback on your solution and you can work together on how to improve it to better address their needs. So you can benefit also for the customer experience, which is also always very good when you are doing marketing. So that's really dedicated to solution provider. So you can market your offer, and everything I just mentioned to you right now, it's part of our sponsoring program. So it's totally tailored for you, meaning that we are totally adapting sponsoring program depending on the specific need. And the good news is that since we are currently launching it, this sponsoring program, you can test it for free. So you can assess all the value we're offering to you, as I said, to gain visibility all over Europe to more than 300,000 SMEs, manufacturing SMEs, and also to be able to be part of their project to test a new solution for agile production and to receive financing for that. We are starting this sponsoring program, so we are playing the tokenization game. So if you are interested in this sponsoring program, for the first period is going to be free of charge because you're going to test it, but we're going to assess its value with you through this tokenization. So depending on the action you are using, so depending digital events, local events, or pan-European events, and also the different participation, then we will define some tokens. So of course, for all the pan-European events, it's going to be high number of participants compared to maybe digital events, but we will assess that with you. So that's very interesting if you want to provide your solution part of the sponsoring program. If you are a technology supplier, you can also benefit directly from the acceleration program if you are selected with your potential customers by DIH² to benefit from our acceleration processes. So how we do that? We are driving some specific experimentation and we are launching call for application. So I don't want to enter in too much details here because we have specific action for that, but I just wanted to give you an overview so you can also speak about DIH² around you and promote it because we can also all benefit from it. So just to make it simple, we are currently actually launching a call for project in agile production, and the goal is to explain what you want to do. We will match with you what could be the right solutions for your expectation and for your project, and a selected project will receive financing to develop their solution and to test it. But when we speak about agile production, this is something that we will send to you because this is a definition by the European Commission. So when we speak about agile production, we are referring to robotics production systems that operate quickly and in an adaptive way to the working context. It's following also dynamic changes. So it's also very interesting because agile, it's also a good mix of robotics and AI. So it's also best way for any manufacturing company to gain in time, efficiency, better working conditions. So it's really a very interesting approach. A lot of large companies have already entered into agile production or working, and our goal is that any SME in Europe can also benefit from it. As we know, they have less resources to start, to test, and that's where the DIH² is designed for. It's really to help them to enter into this new revolution. So it can be adapted to any field. We don't have any specific vertical businesses. So all manufacturing goods are concerned, from food, clothes, shoes, pharmaceutical, craft items, components and assemblies, building, transport, infrastructure, everything is open. So it's really a great opportunity for any European SMEs. When we speak about experimentation, we are really speaking about technology transfer experimentation. So as I said, we can build consortium of end users and technology provider. So it could be 2 to 3 partners, and they will receive support during tests to develop their solution and to test it. And we're going to have 26 different beneficiaries of these funding processes during the program. So any manufacturing SMEs are welcome. It could be up to 500 employees, and it can be slightly bigger than the definition by the European Commission of European SMEs. So, as I said, for technology provider, it's really a great opportunity to get access to new customer, but I will say will customer, people that have resources later on to engage with you. So that's why DIH² is a very attractive program for you. And if you're a technology provider, it could be any type of technology provider. It could be research organization, competence centers, SMEs, mid-cap, and startup. So DIH² is also a good solution for startups to promote themselves, but also to engage into a collaboration with new customer. The same for and mid-cap. We are covering different challenges. This is the list here. I will not enter into details. You will have also the website where you can see that. And you will have also you will receive this presentation in any case, but have a look to that, because if you want to apply, it's important also you address those challenges. So we have 7 challenges in total. Here's some link if you want to receive more information. And so we have a help desk. We'll answer all your questions. And we have also our the platform through Funding Box, where you can apply to the call, and you can start now because the call is open, and the deadline is the 21st of October. So this is for the first stage deadline, but more communication will come to you. If you have any questions, you can contact Mira. But I have also a question for you myself, because I already spoken a lot up to, and we have questions, but I wanted to know what is the most interesting to you on what I mentioned to you right now. Is it acceleration toward agile production? Is it the sponsoring program? Is it the industrial alliance to shape the future? So you just have to answer directly by clicking. And it will be also very useful because we come back to you with additional information. So for the moment, I don't see a lot of votes. So don't hesitate to do it. I think it's the best way also for us to come back to you with the right approach. So only half of you have voted until now. So I can see that you can still vote. Don't hesitate to do it. And we'll come back to the question just later on as well. And we can also make sure that you can all speak during this session. So that was my first question. I have also another questions, which is, yes, we were speaking about agile production. And agile production could be very broad. And we are also very interested to know what are the most interesting fields for you. So when we speak about agile production, are you more interested in process automation, process digitization, robotic guidance, robotics, workflow optimization? Here is both if you are offering solutions in those fields or if you are interested to adopt it. So why it's interesting for us to know that? We are doing different webinars. We're also asking this question to different players. And the goal is also to adapt also our actions to address your specific interests. We have already some technology provider offering some solutions in this field, but not only. So we really want to provide you with the best coverage of solution fitting with your interest. So we have this kind of solution, but we could also ask you for other alternatives. Would you be interested also to consider predictive maintenance, quality inspections, health and safety at work, and anything else also? If it's interesting to you, let us know. Here again, the goal is to know what is your main field of interest. So just take a few seconds to answer. that will be useful for DIH² and also to address your specific field of interest, to welcome you the best way into DIH² network. So I don't see yet a lot of people who have answered. If you're not interested in this, just that's also very interesting. So don't click in anything. Okay, that's for this first question. And so we wanted to know also if you would like to, if you're not part of DIH² yet, if you want to receive, if you like to receive more information on DIH² and all the different activities that will be that are running. So we want to know if you're interested in the sponsoring program, if you are more interested in the open call, or if you are interested also in joining the Industrial Alliance to shape the future. So again, the goal here is to send you the most relevant information on our action. We are a large consortium, 37 partners actually, I made mistakes previously. All very committed to provide you with the best support and really to grow this robotics ecosystem in Europe, but also to support the industry with the right approaches. So again, we're here to support you. So I want just to make a test because we can go to the Q&A session and to make it very live processes. Are you allowed to, can you try to speak? So Sabine, you were answering before. Can you, do you have any specific question on your side, Sabine?
No, not at all. So I'm actually a member of the DIH². I'm just recording the session for some of the partners that are interested in it, but I can't join it.
Okay, it's good. So again, it's very interesting because it's just a discovery webinar, and for any of our network, I think it's very good to receive also their feedback on what is the most interesting to them, so we can also address them in the right way. Because indeed we have these 3 actions, so supporting the acceleration of toward agile production for SME, and that are more manufacturing SMEs, but also technology provider. And we have a sponsoring program that has been launched recently, and the goal is really to test it in the coming months and to grow it later on. So it's good because you are able to speak, Sabine, so thank you for the test. It's good. So we have some questions. We have a question about the target area for the open call. So are we open to general and flexible, and if we are flexible regarding the different area of application experiment? As I said, we have 7 challenges, but regarding the field, we are totally open. So you can, if you are interested, I didn't want to cover only the core here, but really to provide you with an overview of what DIH² is about. So you can speak about it also in your ecosystem, because here the goal is to grow this network and to grow this economy, to make Europe very strong in robotics. So the more people are involved in DIH², the better it will be, because we're going to make a bigger cake. And so if the cake is bigger, the part will be bigger for everybody. Okay, that was the first questions. We have a question about so yes, the SME and service provider can apply on the call on the web page that I just highlighted to you, and you will receive the presentation, so you can totally have access to all the information through the website. If you have specific question about the call, we will do specific communication on it. As I said, the call has been launched beginning of July and will close 31st of October. So group within DIH² is quite active in communicating on this open call. So we will make sure they have received your contact details, and they can provide you with relevant information on that. So Paul, I hope we have answered your questions about agile production. This was your question. So if it's not the case, don't hesitate to let us know. And we have also another question. How does a robotic integrator SMEs fit in the solution to develop its production processes? What we are doing also to DIH² is some brokerage and matchmaking activity. We know it's quite a challenge to find the best solution if you're not a technical expert. And if you're a technical expert, it's not always the best, it's not always easy to find the SME or the users that really need your approach. So DIH creates a network of 37 experts in robotics covering different competencies and expertise, and we are really working all together to make sure that this match between the technology and the usage, so yes, the manufacturing SMEs and the technology provider will be really optimized. So we'll do that during the different calls. We have different stages also to help the matching. And the goal is really to have very efficient and proactive experimentation. We're going to have also some brokerage events where this matchmaking will be supported. So the first thing for you is to apply, to enter into DIH² processes, and then you will really receive the most efficient support to make your process and your project a success. Can early stage startup apply? So that's a good question. That depends on what you call early stage startup. What we really want to address through DIH² is manufacturing SMEs that do really have some manufacturing challenges to address, where they want to enter into agile production, as I said, and they see the value of it. So you can, if you are a startup and you are offering solutions, you're a technology provider, you can also enter into the game. You can also promote your solution, and of course we might find a good match between what you do and the manufacturing SMEs that will be supported. Is the call only dedicated to SME? It's not only SME, it could be a slightly bigger, as I said. So depending on what you have in mind, at LI we can totally discuss this and find the right approach. So I think we have covered all the questions for now. We wanted to have a 30-minute webinar because we all know that everybody is quite busy and we have different sessions. The goal was to provide you with this discovery information on DIH². We hope it has been useful for you. You will receive this information in any case, and we are really looking forward to welcoming you in DIH². Thank you very much. If you have any specific question, I can take another one very rapidly, but I think that's all. Thank you, and then talk to you soon. Bye.